Yeah. I might have to do the white and gold. This is how I'm gonna wear mine. Oh, we're gonna match. Yo, I'm not opening the whole thing. Yo, y'all wanna see it? Y'all wanna see everything? I don't wanna ruin it. It's perfectly.
Oh, it's boxing.
Yeah. I'm gonna open it when I get home. Right there on the I say thank you.
Nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, had custom baby boxing gear scandal on their 2026 bingo card. But here we are. 1 minute the internet is arguing about grown adults throwing hands. And next minute a Finn slides in like Santa Claus with a sponsorship deal and hands Chrisean Rock's son his own personalized boxing set, gloves, shorts, the whole mini Mayweather starter pack. And suddenly, the timeline explodes. Now let's pause, because this wasn't just a cute little moment. Oh no, this hit social media like a gender reveal party mixed with WrestleMania. People were screaming, "Future champ," others were clutching their pearls like this baby just signed a Vegas contract, and Chrisean, stunned, shocked, looking like she just realized the plot twist halfway through the movie. But here's where it gets messy. Because the internet doesn't do wholesome without adding gasoline. Was this just a sweet fan gesture? Or is this the beginning of baby's first pay-per-view? Some folks are calling it adorable, others are calling it branding before preschool. And trust me, the reactions are louder than a press conference brawl. What really happened behind the scenes? Who approved this? And why does this feel like the first chapter of a saga that could make the Kardashians look low budget? Buckle up, because this story, it's not just about boxing gloves. It's about image, legacy, and a fan gift that might have changed the whole narrative overnight. The internet moves fast, but when it comes to anything involving Chrisean Rock, it moves like it just drank 3 energy drinks and found Wi-Fi at the same time. The second that video surfaced of her son receiving custom boxing gear from a fan, timelines didn't just scroll. They combusted. One clip, one tiny pair of gloves. And suddenly everybody online had a PhD in parenting, branding, and boxing promotions. Now let's set the stage properly. Chrisean has been orbiting the combat sports conversation for a minute now. Training clips, gym selfies, fight hype, that whole "I'm locked in" energy. So when a fan pulled up with personalized boxing shorts and matching gloves for her son, it didn't feel random. It felt symbolic, like the universe said, "Oh, we're building a dynasty now," and the look on her face. That wasn't just a polite influencer smile. That was a full wait. What? Moment? Eyebrows up. Energy shifted, a mix of pride and disbelief swirling around like a dramatic soap opera camera zoom. Because whether you love her or critique her, you could tell she wasn't expecting that level of detail. The gear wasn't generic. It was custom, tailored, intentional. But here's where the controversy tiptoes in wearing designer sneakers. Some people saw it as a heartwarming gesture from a supporter who genuinely believes in her journey. Others saw it as the first brick in a marketing blueprint. Why does a baby need branded gloves? Critics type furiously. Is this cute or calculated? The comment section became a courtroom with zero moderation and unlimited Wi-Fi. And don't forget, this isn't happening in a vacuum. Chrisean's life has been public theater for years, relationships dissected, arguments analyzed like NFL replays, every move magnified under a digital microscope. So when something wholesome appears, the internet doesn't just clap, it interrogates, it zooms in, it asks, okay? But what's the angle? Some fans were already envisioning highlight reels that don't even exist yet, future champ loading, They posted with fire emojis like they were casting a biopic in real time. Others went the opposite direction, accusing the moment of being another chapter in the saga of public spectacle. The divide was immediate, no middle ground, just applause on one side and think pieces on the other. The bigger question bubbling under the surface wasn't even about the gear. It was about legacy. In celebrity culture, everything feels prepackaged. Every post can double as promotion. Every smile can be interpreted as strategy. So when a child enters that ecosystem, even innocently, people start drawing conspiracy maps like they're solving a Netflix crime documentary. And yet, let's not ignore the obvious. It was a fan gift. A supporter saw inspiration and decided to match it with action. In most universes, that's called generosity. But in this universe, it's headline material. Because the moment it hit social feeds, it became bigger than gloves. It became a conversation about influence, fandom, and how quickly admiration can morph into expectation. The reactions kept escalating. Memes popped up comparing the baby's boxing gear to rookie contracts. Someone edited dramatic training music over the clip like he was prepping for a championship bout at daycare. The exaggeration was wild. But that's the internet's love language, overreaction wrapped in humor with a side of chaos. Meanwhile, Chrisean herself seemed caught between gratitude and surprise. She didn't stage a press conference. She didn't launch a merch drop. The next day, she reacted like a mother processing a moment in real time. And that subtle authenticity is what made the clip even more powerful. It wasn't polished. It wasn't scripted. It felt spontaneous. But spontaneity online is suspicious. By default, viewers started asking whether this was a sign of what's to come. Is her son already part of the brand narrative? Is the boxing storyline extending beyond her? Or was this just a cute, blink and you miss it interaction that the internet inflated into a headline hurricane? Theirs. Also, the psychology of fandom at play. When supporters gift celebrities items that align with their public persona, it reinforces a storyline. It says, "We see you. We support this version of you." In this case, the boxing gear wasn't random pajamas. It was symbolic. It was connected to her fight journey. And that symbolism hit harder than the gloves ever could, critics argued. That projecting a combat sports identity onto a child is too much. Too soon, supporters countered that it's no different than buying a kid a tiny basketball or a toddler-sized football jersey. The debate wasn't really about boxing. It was about perception, about whether celebrity culture accelerates childhood into content. And that's where things started getting louder. Because once parenting enters the chat, civility exits through the back door, comment sections turn into think tanks, hot takes flying like confetti at a parade. Some praised the positivity. Others accused the moment of setting expectations before the child can even form senses. But what nobody could deny was the impact. A simple fan gesture had become a trending topic. Screenshots circulated, reactions stitched across platforms. Influencers weighed in with their unpopular opinions that were anything but unpopular. The ripple effect was immediate and undeniable. The real tension, though, lies beneath the surface. This wasn't just about a gift. It was about narrative control. When you live publicly, every symbol matters. Every image contributes to the bigger story. And this image, a tiny pair of gloves representing strength, fight, legacy, it was powerful. Was it dramatic? Absolutely. Was it exaggerated by the internet? Without question. But that's the ecosystem we're dealing with. A space where a 5-second clip can morph into a cultural debate before dinner. A world where a fan's thoughtful gesture can spark commentary louder than a championship bow. And as the clip continued circulating, one thing became crystal clear. This moment wasn't going away quietly. It had tapped into something deeper. The intersection of celebrity branding, motherhood, and public expectation. Whether you viewed it as adorable or alarming, you had an opinion. And just when you thought the internet would calm down and move on to the next celebrity meltdown, it did the exact opposite. The clip didn't fade, it multiplied. reaction videos, stacked up faster than unpaid bills, and suddenly everybody from lifestyle vloggers to self-proclaimed culture analysts had a dissertation ready about baby boxing symbolism. Yes, symbolism over toddler-sized gloves. Memes started flying like uppercuts. Someone edited the baby into a dramatic ring walk with pyrotechnics and a fake pay-per-view banner that read 2029 Main Ev. And another account posted a mock ESPN graphic predicting his rookie season. The exaggeration was Olympic level, and the more absurd it became, the more people shared it. But here's where it twisted. A few celebrities, not naming names, but you know the vibe, subtly chimed in. Not direct shade, just those cryptic posts that say everything without saying anything. Let kids be kids. One wrote, no tags, no context. But the timing, oh? The timing was louder than a ringside bell, and the internet detectives clocked it immediately. Suddenly, this wholesome fan moment was being framed as a cultural debate. Is this empowerment? Or is it projection? Is it inspiration? Or is it expectation wrapped in Instagram lighting? The conversation spiraled into think piece territory so fast you'd think the gloves came with a PR strategy attached. And then came the parenting police. You know the ones. Profile pictures with inspirational quotes and a bio that says real. Talk only. They stormed the comment sections declaring this was too much too soon. Meanwhile, supporters fired back saying buying a kid's sports gear isn't controversial unless you're bored and looking. G for outrage. What made it messier was the context of Chrisean's public image. She's associated with intensity, with fighting spirit, with chaos and comeback energy. So when a fan gifts her son boxing gear, it doesn't land neutrally. It connects dots. It reinforces narratives. And some viewers don't like how clearly those dots line up. Then someone pulled the why this comparison yet. They said this felt like the early stages of a celebrity dynasty arc. Like when famous athletes start training their kids before kindergarten and suddenly it's a family franchise. Dramatic, yes. But did it get engagement? Absolutely. The algorithm was eating it up like it hadn't been fed in days. Even podcasts got involved. One host joked that the baby already has better merch than most influencers. Another questioned whether fans are crossing boundaries by gifting career symbolic items to children. The debate wasn't quiet. It was amplified, monetized, clipped, and reposted with captions like, "Y'all not ready for this convo." Meanwhile, the fan who gave the gift, practically invisible in the chaos. No villain arc. No hidden agenda revealed, just a supporter who likely thought, "She's into boxing. Let me show love." But once the internet touches something, it becomes a storyline bigger than the original intent. And the conspiracy crowd, oh, they clocked in early. They started speculating that this was the soft launch of a future brand extension, Kids Boxing. Line coming soon, someone tweeted with zero evidence but maximum confidence. Suddenly, imagination was being treated like insider information. The energy escalated even further when side-by-side edits started circulating. Clips of Chrisean training. Clips of her son holding the gloves. Dramatic music layered underneath. Like this was the trailer for a generational sports documentary. It felt cinematic, it felt intense, and it felt wildly premature all at once. What's fascinating is how quickly admiration morphs into expectation. A fan gives a symbolic gift, and within hours people are projecting careers, sponsorships, and pressure onto a child who probably just likes bright colors and snack time. That's the speed of digital culture. No slow build, just instant narrative inflation. Supporters kept defending the moment as harmless encouragement. They argued that children grow up inspired by what they see around them. If your mom trains in a boxing gym, a pair of gloves isn't destiny, it's exposure. But critics insisted that when cameras are involved, nothing is ever just exposure. And let's be honest, controversy is currency online. The louder the disagreement, the stronger the traction. Algorithms don't care if you're praising or protesting. They care that you're typing. And people were typing paragraphs, whole essays under a 20-second clip. Then came the generational debate. Some older viewers rolled their eyes and said, "Kids have always played dress up with their parents' hobbies." Others argued that social media transforms play into performance. That once something is posted publicly, it's no longer just a family moment. It's a public statement. The wildest part, Chrisean herself wasn't escalating anything. No dramatic speeches. No defensive live streams. Just regular posts, regular. Live, but the internet kept dissecting the original clip like there was a hidden message in the stitching of the gloves. And that's the twist. The louder the audience became, the quieter the actual moment seemed. What started as surprise and gratitude turned into a digital war about symbolism, branding, and motherhood in the spotlight. The gloves weren't just gloves anymore. They were a metaphor people couldn't stop arguing over. By this point, even casual observers had opinions. Group chats lit up, TikTok stitches multiplied. Reaction thumbnails screamed, "This is crazy." In neon fonts, the energy felt like a scandal without an actual crime. Just layers of interpretation stacked higher than a championship trophy. What this revealed wasn't about boxing. It was about how fame magnifies everything. A regular parent receiving sports gear for their kid wouldn't trend, but add a celebrity. Name a dramatic backstory and a highly reactive audience. And suddenly it's headline fuel. And as the memes kept circulating and the hot takes kept rolling in, one thing was undeniable. This simple fan gesture had evolved into a cultural moment. Not because of what it was, but because of what people decided it represented. And just like that, the smoke started to settle, but not before leaving fingerprints everywhere. What began as a sweet, blink and you miss it fan gesture had transformed into a full-blown cultural debate about fame, parenting, branding, and the fine art of minding your business. The clip stopped trending at the top, but the conversation didn't disappear. It just moved deeper underground into podcasts, comment threads, and side-eye subtweets. The aftermath wasn't explosive in the traditional sense. No dramatic livestream, breakdown, no apology tours, no emergency PR statements, and that, ironically, made it even louder, because when there's no reaction to react to, the internet starts arguing with itself. And that's exactly what happened. Supporters doubled down. They framed the moment as empowering, a symbol of strength, a tiny representation of resilience. They painted it like a generational torch being passed, not in pressure, but in possibility. If he grows up around greatness, why not let him play in it? One fan posted. That comment alone sparked a digital debate longer than a boxing. UNDRCARD. Critics, however, weren't budging. They claimed the situation highlighted the blurred lines between personal life and public image. They questioned whether celebrity children are ever allowed to exist without becoming part of a storyline. To them, the gloves weren't adorable. They were symbolic of expectation, of destiny being drafted before kindergarten. And here's the thing, both sides thought they were right, which meant the argument wasn't really about right or wrong. It was about perception. In the age of constant visibility, every moment can be interpreted as strategy, even when it's spontaneous, especially when it's spontaneous. Meanwhile, Chrisean's brand subtly absorbed the moment without formally addressing it. The clip added another layer to her public identity: a fighter, mother, unpredictable force of nature. The visual of her son holding boxing gear reinforced the narrative of legacy without a single press release being written. That's the power of imagery in the digital era, but legacy cuts both ways. For some viewers, it solidified her as a strong figure building a future. For others, it intensified concerns about how quickly celebrity culture accelerates childhood into content. The same image that inspired one person unsettled another. And that tension, that's what keeps the machine running. There were even whispers about potential brand partnerships down the line. No evidence, no announcements. Just speculation fueled by imagination and engagement metrics. The internet has a habit of forecasting careers before toddlers can pronounce their own names. It's dramatic, it's ridiculous, and it's very on brand for 2026. Interestingly, The real-world impact seemed quieter than the digital noise suggested. There were no confirmed deals, no sudden baby boxing academies, just life continuing, which almost made the online uproar feel like a theater production with no actual script behind it. But reputational shifts don't always need contracts to happen. Perception alone can tilt narratives for fans who already admired her strength. The moment added emotional depth. For skeptics, it reinforced concerns about spectacle. The gloves became a Rorschach test. People saw what they already believed. And let's talk about the bigger pattern. Celebrity children have always been part of public fascination, from mini red carpet outfits to viral birthday parties. Audiences consume glimpses of family life, like it's episodic television. The difference now is speed. Moments don't simmer, they detonate. This situation proved something crucial. The public doesn't just watch celebrities anymore. They co-author the narrative. A simple gift can morph into a debate about societal values within hours. Fame no longer belongs solely to the famous. It belongs to the commentary ecosystem orbiting them. As weeks passed, the volume dipped, but the imprint remained. The clip still resurfaced in Remember When threads. It became a reference point whenever conversations about celebrity parenting emerged. Not scandalous enough to destroy reputations, not trivial enough to forget, just controversial enough to linger. And perhaps that's the real takeaway. The gloves didn't change her career overnight. They didn't launch a dynasty or collapse one, but they highlighted how delicate the balance is when personal joy intersects with public attention. Every gesture carries weight when the world is watching. The most ironic part: the baby probably outgrew the gloves faster than the internet. Outgrew the debate. Childhood moves quickly, trends move faster, outrage moves fastest of all. Yet somehow, this moment managed to encapsulate all three. In the end, there was no villain reveal, no secret mastermind orchestrating a branding masterstroke, just a fan, a gift, a reaction, and a digital audience determined to transform it into something larger than life. But here's the cliffhanger nobody wants to admit. If something this small can spark this much discourse, what happens when the stakes actually rise? What happens when future milestones hit the timeline? If baby gloves triggered think pieces, imagine what a real headline will do. Because if we've learned anything, it's this. In the arena of celebrity culture, nothing is ever just a moment. It's a preview, and the crowd is always ready for the next round. And now I need to know, are we looking at a wholesome fan moment that the internet blew out of proportion? Or did we just witness the soft launch of the tiniest boxing legacy in entertainment history? Because the timeline was fighting harder than anybody in that ring. One pair of custom gloves and suddenly everybody turned into a parenting expert, a branding strategist, and a sports analyst at the same time. If you made it this far, you already know this wasn't just about boxing gear. It was about perception. It was about how fast the internet can take something sweet and spin it into a full-blown cultural debate. And trust me, if this moment had you raising an eyebrow even slightly, you are not alone. So go ahead and drop your take in the comments. Was this adorable, overanalyzed, low-key iconic? Or are we all just addicted to drama at this point? I want the real opinions, no safe answers. Let's turn this comment section into a press conference. And if you enjoy deep dives into celebrity chaos, unexpected plot twists, and internet meltdowns that hit harder than a championship uppercut, make sure you smash that like button like it owes you money. Subscribe so you don't miss the next scandal, because around here, the headlines never sleep. This story might have started with baby gloves, but trust me, the next one could shake the whole arena. Stay locked in. Welcome to pure, unfiltered celeb insanity.